Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Looking at Media, or Tim Haid. Anyway, we're going to be doing our FileMaker series. I think we're on FileMaker 15 is the big thing. So let's very first of all, I'm using FileMaker Pro Advanced 14, but what I mean by 15 is we're on episode 15. Just FYI, so you guys aren't like freaking out. what is Tim talking about? FileMaker 15. So I did learn a lot about FileMaker 16 actually, which is their newest, latest, greatest project. And the cool thing about FileMaker 16 is the biggest difference I saw that would be of any benefit to myself or any regular small business was that they increased the cache so that your file sizes can be larger, which is really great because if you've used FileMaker very long, you very quickly realize that by adding pictures and stuff like that, and you're adding a bunch of stuff into your system, it very quickly takes up that cache and the system begins to not work appropriately and or fast at all. So this actually will be of a great help, but it's not really necessary if all you're doing is running a regular register like we are. So what we did currently is we went ahead and we cleaned up some of our inventory. As you guys can see, we have inventory listed, and so now we have products that we can actually do, and we've got some SKU numbers. I did want to talk just briefly about a few questions that came up before or since my last episode. So in my last episode, we discovered that one of the viewers has a warehouse, and he does a lot of using FileMaker for his warehouse. Now that is a really unique and interesting thing that FileMaker is fit for perfectly, in the sense that you can, if you want to, in your inventory system, you can actually set up a barcode identifier. You can set up a note to tell you where that location is, so that if you have lots and lots and lots of product and you scan a product, or you are looking for a specific product, your notes will tell you exactly where it is. A friend of mine who lives in North Dakota actually does have in his garage this giant thing, you know, and it's 40 feet, right? So it's like 40 feet, and he has like all these bins and stuff set up, and he likes to know exactly where all of that stuff is at, and he has every square or every place where he's putting product in, and they're 4 feet, basically about 4 feet wide by 4 feet tall, the shelves are. He'll put a barcode, and you can buy those barcodes from Amazon just in blank. So you can just buy just a regular barcode. They're called asset tags, and that will help you because you can actually go out to your inventory or to your stuff, your storage, and you can scan it, and it will tell you everything that's in that 4 foot by 4 foot cube, because you can just set up a search that will search under the notes section for everything that's in there, and then it'll give you its value or whatever you want to do that is married to that. But so we went ahead and we did this, and we added some values in there, and we're just going to go ahead and exit, and we're going to exit, and we're going to get to what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to our register one. We're trying to get to our part. So let's just do real quick, like, we will put in our number and we will go to register 1. Now from register 1, what we did was, and I'm positive I covered this on the last episode, is we created the execute button so that if you put a number in this box up here, that it will automatically send you to your page, to where you are. So if I typed in my code as an administrator, it would send me to my administration page. But if I exited it and I went back in to register 1, and I used per se Josh's code 1912, and I executed it, what would happen is it now takes me to the back office. As you can see, it takes me to a completely different place depending on what number that I put in there. But let's just say, for instance, that I decide that I want to do these little cache thingies that we're talking about in the bulk sale items. So what I did was I cleaned this up. I went ahead and put an execute button here, and I removed all the other buttons so that there are no exit, no menu, no nothing. It's just it goes right back to the invoice. So this is just, all this does is it helps me sell an item that I may not have a scan barcode for, or an item where I might need just quick access to a sale item, or whatever the case might be. So we do have the quantity. We do have some information in the system. Our $1 button works, but none of the rest of our buttons work. So what we'll do is we'll edit the layout, and we'll go into our dollar button. Now, if you remember, what we did was we created the master button on the last episode. And then if you click on this little side, this little note looking thing, it will bring up all of your scripts, and it will say master button and your optional script trigger. Now that's what actually creates and makes these things work. So what we need to do on these other ones is quick, like if we double click them and we tell it to perform a script, the cool thing is we can actually go into here and we can find our master, and it should be at the bottom or near the bottom somewhere, master button. And now all we have to do is put in our number for the $2 sale. And so what I did was when I was in my inventory, and that's where you guys caught me when I first came on, I was in my inventory. So when I was in my inventory, I went ahead and I put together a list. Basically, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's a list basically of those numbers that I will need. So the $2 one is, its optional script trigger, or optional script parameter is 1001. And then we just go from there. So we can say OK. And if you want the option to change cursor overhand, you can then put that in here if you want to, but you don't have to. And then all it is basically doing the exact same thing. So we're going to go here, and if you have one that you are using a lot of, you can actually you can move it somewhere in your script just by going to your script triggers, so that it's always available if you're going to do a lot of it. Or if you're not worried about it, you can also go and show certain scripts, like that. This one says the secure bot scripts and the go-to script. So I will show you how to make this work beautifully, very, very quick, because we don't want to spend a gigantic amount of time making this happen. So we are going to select our master button, and our $3 sale is 1004. So we'll go ahead and add that in and call it OK. Change cursor to overhand. Now on the rest of them, as you know, we've got a lot of them. So let's figure out how we can reduce the amount of time that it's going to take to do this. So we're going to go into scripts, and we're going to, what we're looking for is we want to create a new place to put stuff, right? Because we currently have our secure bot and we currently have our go-to scripts that are hidden. We can now create a brand new folder, and so we'll create a new folder, and that new folder is going to be called, let's just call it master buttons, or masters or something, because we will be creating a lot of these scripts that are dealing with, like you guys know, we have register 1, register 2, register 3, blah, 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 right? So everything that is going to be involved with those registers, we want to make sure that we're keeping them in the same place so that we can readily duplicate them, we can readily modify them to fit what we want to do. So we'll go ahead and we'll call it the masters or masters button. And we'll click off of it, and it's going to check us out, as you can see. See how they've got the little thing? It's going to check us out. Hopefully it doesn't completely destroy everything. I hate that when that does that. What can you do? What can you do? It is, I believe, because I've reached my limit of usable memory for the program. So because I do videos and I've put together a lot of programs, I need to go in and get those cleaned out. But for now, we'll just call it good, and we'll just go ahead and get into our solution. And we'll fix this, go back and fix what we were doing. And it instantly takes me to, this is kind of a set page that I actually did. So we'll just go ahead and exit that, and we'll get into our admin page, or let's get into, let's just stay right here, right where we are, and we'll edit the layout, and we're going to manage our scripts, because we're going to see if we can make this work, because we did create a new folder. Hopefully our folder is still there. There it is, down at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and put that master button, and you guys can see all of these other ones, but we're gonna, because what I tend to do is I tend to leave them lit up, so that I know which ones did I use. Okay, so now our master button is in our masters. As you can see, I put it in there. I apologize for, but there it is. So we've created a masters. Now we can create register folders if you want to. You can divide these up as however you want to, but as you can see, we have a lot of scripts that we currently have that we really need to develop and hide somewhere and just kind of put them away if we're not going to be using them. So the ones that were completely finished off, and what I tend to do is leave them like scattered all over the place, and then at the very end when I'm done when I'm done writing all of my scripts, I'll usually bring them into focus, and I'll say, all right, this one goes in this file, this one goes in that file, all of these are register 1, all of these are register 2, all of these are register 3, and I'll categorize everything and kind of clean them up, really make them easier to deal with. But the cool thing is, once you've done a script, once you've written it, you really don't need this access. You don't need this type of access to it, because you can easily go in and change it to whatever you want to. So in this particular case, we'll exit the script. We'll go ahead and put in my code, and we'll go to our register 1 button, and we'll just go straight to here. Now we know that we did 1, 2, and 3, but now we have 4, 5, and 10, 20, blah, blah, blah. And these numbers can be anything you want to. You can add, subtract, change these numbers, do anything you want to. These are for my benefit and my benefit only. And if you needed to, you could use these for change, for like penny, nickel, dime, quarter, whatever. I mean, it does whatever you want to do. Personally, I'm just going to leave them open because I don't really need them in my store, but you may need them in yours, so I'm going to leave them there for future use or future benefit for whoever might need them. But so we are now on the 4th button, the 4th thing. So now if we click on it and we tell it to perform a script, we can actually go up here and we can show just the master button, just the masters. And so it's pretty simple. Now all we've got to do is click on the masters, and we're on $4, so that is 1003, and we'll say OK. Our options, change cursor overhand. So this really works out to save you a ton of money, or time, excuse me. You can just go to the masters, and there it is. Obviously though, we do need to put in our script parameter. So it's the $5 one is 1004. Change cursor overhand. $10 one, we're just going to go through these really quick, so I apologize if you guys are like, what in the heck is Tim doing? Now you can move, that's the funny thing, is you can actually take your script and you can move it all the way to the top if you want to, or move it wherever you want to in your files and blah blah blah. And that what that will do is this works a lot better when I'm not running several different programs all at one time. So if I'm just running just this program, I was with it most of the day yesterday, just kind of messing with it, and I didn't have an issue with it at all. So it does work better when you're not doing all of this stuff with multiple different things. So we do have the master button, and this one is our $10 one. So it is 1005. Change to cursor overhand. And you can actually set all of these up to perform a script. Pretty simple. And this one is our $20 one is 1006. And it might get just a bit quiet because I'm being quiet. Master button, and this one is 1007. As we go on, now I did try to keep all the numbers in the same thing, and I'll show you guys the inventory here in just a second. As soon as we get done doing this, we'll go ahead and perform the script. And it might have been easier if I just would have moved the masters all the way to the very top, and then I wouldn't have had to deal with it. This one is the $40 one, so it's 1009. 1009. We did skip a number, and the reason why is because our $1 one, we ended up using the 1008 number for that, or our product code number 1008. Optional cursor over hand, or hand over cursor. And we're down to the last couple of them here, so we're going to move right straight through these. And the $50 one is 1010. And one thing I like about the repetitious part is that you guys, me doing this multiple times, you see how I'm doing it. And because I know when I'm watching videos, sometimes they do things so fast, even though they seem like it's going really slow, they do things so fast that you miss it, and you're trying to pause that little 2-second or 3-second window. And this kind of gives you a buffer where you can just see it repeatedly, and it really helps bring that in. What happened to my stream? It just crashed. My stream did just crash. It just crashed, and it's back. So I'm sorry, but fortunately, we haven't done anything since the crash, by the way, guys. It did just crash just a second ago. Our upload speed went to almost 0. Hopefully we're in good standing now. I'm just going to slow down just a second and watch that. I put my microphone above my head, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. See it? It's up there. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm watching that. So our $100 button is actually 1011. So we'll go ahead and add that in. Change cursor over hand. And now, if I want to quick explain that what I did was this. Now, see, you can tell that this one is not cursor over hand. The $30 one, I did not change to cursor over hand. Cursor hand over button. Okay. So now they'll all be that way. Ta-da-da, they're perfect. So now if we come onto this page, the reason why, let's get back to really quick, like the reason why I got rid of all the other buttons is because I don't want people to be able to leave this page to get away from it without closing out their invoice, because this is just an extension of that invoice page. So if you go here, you see this is our invoice, it's invoice 23, and if we go to into our space here where we wanted to go, and I sell, let's say you have a product that's $45, so you got to do a 40 and a 5, and you go back to your invoice, you now have $45 added to your invoice. Very quick, very easy. If we go back into execute, so we don't want to leave that alone should we have an issue. We want to keep it right where it is. So if we have a $100 sale, we can go back to the invoice, and now there is our $100 sale. And if we needed multiple ones, like if you were, let's go to the execute. Let's say you had a product that was $26. Now you could either select the 20, the 5, and the 1, or you could just simply type in 26 and hit your 1. Now when you go to your invoice, there's your $26 sale. $26, 100 and some odd bucks. And if we choose to hold this, and I'll kind of show you real quick. So if we choose to hold it, what it will do is it will give us a brand new one. So a brand new one, and we can execute, sell a couple of items. I'm going to sell 3 $2 items, 3 $2 items. We'll cash that one out. And we're now on a brand new invoice, and we're on invoice 25. But if we go to our hold button, here it is. Here's our held invoice. Now if we try to escape, we try to exit, it will say, no, you can't exit because you have to close this one out. So if we go to our exit button and we click it, it says, please close all the invoices before. USA, thank you very much for being here, USA. It's good to see you. So now it says, if you see it, the exit button, it's saying, no, you can't do it. You can't leave. You have to close your thing first. Now, if you were the one issue that we do have is if you're management, you can type in your number and you can escape from here if you wanted to. But you shouldn't be doing that. And so I can actually create an envelope that will say if, but as you know, this file is pretty big as it is already. So if you go to the hold button and we click on it, what this automatically does is it brings it back, and you see the zeros there. This is because it didn't refresh the page. If you just click anywhere on the page, it'll bring all the information in. So just touch the page anywhere and it'll bring it in, reset it, and now you can actually close this invoice out. So we'll just go credit, and it took me to the 10025. So what it did is instead of starting a brand new invoice, it took me to the last known invoice, which is 10025. Pretty smart, isn't it? Well, how that did that is when you go in our hold button, I'm not sure if you guys, if I gave you guys that whole deal with the hold button, but if we go to this and we do our script triggers, it's not in script triggers, is it? It's a button setup. Button setup. So it's going to do the held invoice 1-1. You guys remember doing those? And if we click on it, it's not a very big one, but what it says is that if it's empty, then just close the popover, halt the script. But if it's not empty, we're going to set the invoice number, register hold 1. We're going to go there. We're going to clear it out. So we're going to clear out those fields. And then we're going to set the field. So our variable, we set our variable, and then we set another variable, and that variable we called it back. So we knew how to get back to where we were before. So it's basically just a back button, basically is what it is. And we used the invoice, the register invoice number for that, as you can see. Froze the window, enter find mode, performed the script, then set with the field invoice lock to the back number, and then go to the field scanner data. So it's a very simple, very easy script that actually creates that and makes that happen. And we'll exit this layout. So now all of our invoices are clear, everything is good. Now we can go ahead and press the exit button, and it will take us out and remind us to clock out for the day. So we don't have register 2, register 3. We don't have all of those done yet. We do have the inventory modifier, and I want to show you guys the inventory modifier really quick while we're here. So if we type in a code, and you guys have the admin code, right? All of you guys have admin code? So what this does is it's really super cool. I can show you guys how this works really fast. Let me find my scanner, and we'll turn it on. And let me grab a product. So in my little world, what we did was we used barcodes. We used barcodes on the tag, the shelf tag, right? So if I were in this position and I scanned, that's weird that I accidentally opened something. Okay, sorry. Something happened. I'm just like, what in the world's going on? My computer's being quite funny this morning. Okay, so if I'm in this position and I scan this number, what happens is it will automatically bring up that product for me. And it will automatically set me into this add amount so that if I needed to, I can add amounts to here. Now we did go ahead and do the change quantity button and the sale button, and I want to show you guys those really super quick while we're here. Pretty simple to do. So we will create, we'll edit the layout, and I know that before we had the add quantity button. The difference would be the change quantity button. And so the script, the name of the script is change inventory. And it's not a very big script. It's a pretty small script, but it basically says if our add inventory button is empty, just set an error code. And you guys know me really well. What happens is I always, if it is empty, the button, the field that I'm looking for data to take the data from, if it's empty, I automatically just set out a custom dialog that says, hey, there's no information in there. Stop trying to fool me. I'm not going to get it. And you kind of have to add that. You kind of have to, because if you don't, what happens is it will take blank data. If there's blank data in there, it'll just take blank data and it'll blank everything out. And before you know it, you're lost completely. So it's better to say, hey, if there's no information in there, just tell your user, put information in there. You can put anything in there. I like to scare people by saying critical error or something like that, but you can put anything you want in there. Just say, you know, add information, and then I usually will halt the script so that we don't have to go on any further. But then I say if is empty, the username. So in this case, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, look, I want to make sure that the person that's making the change to the data is person I know, is person that it is authorized to do that. So what we did was we said if the username is empty, then we'll show a custom dialog and we'll take them back to the entry page. We'll say bye, see you later. You're not authorized to make any changes, and then halt the script. But if none of those two factors are correct, and by the way, I did a case. I did use a case script the other day that I was quite gratified about creating. But so we're going to set a lot of variables, and our variables are going to be what is the amount, which is the add inventory button, and that button is, or that field, I'm sorry, I keep calling them buttons, but that add inventory is right here. So we're going to set that variable. We're going to set the ID variable, which is our product ID number, which is right here. We're going to set our product name, which is right here. We're going to set the quantity button, which is over here. It won't let me move this because it won't, because it hates me. It hates me. I don't know. I should always remember when I have those, I should just move them out of the way first, right? And then it's going to set the inventory user name. It's going to freeze the window, and now we're going to go to a record. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Tim? What are you talking about? We're going to go to a record. Well, I brought this up for a reason. So we're going to go to records change. So the layout that we're going to go to is records change. And what this is going to do is every change that you made, it's going to record, first of all the pertinent information for the product, and then all of the changes that you made. And then it's going to go back to the original layout and then halt the script. So we'll say OK. So if we close this down and if we exit the layout, and here we are in here, and we want to change the quantity to 5, and we change the quantity. It says records have been modified. Now we have 5 of them in stock. But let's go to our management page, or our inventory, or admin page, I'm sorry. And let's go to our reports page. So in our reports, here we have, this is where I did the case file, the case thing, just so you know. So here what we have is we have today's date, 1/10/2018. We have the product that we were just on, the old quantity, the new quantity, the difference was their price change, and then it says modify quantity, and it was me who made that change, and this was the date. We used the date, we put the date in the end just so that we could, because here, this date, the merge fields date, when I was trying to sort the products, it wasn't sorting them properly, so I added the date to this backward ID. So just kind of put the ID on the very end, and I did that. Now I'm sure you guys are with me when I managed my database for this, what we call the records change table. If you haven't, then write it down. We first have a timestamp, which is a text, the product ID, product name, original quantity, the original price, the new quantity. So these are all, if you're going to make a change to something, this gives you that ability to make that change, and so that you know what the old one was and what the new one is, because you need to be able to have those, what the old one was and what the new one was. And I want to show you guys the case that I did while we're in this field, so, or while we're in under this table. Then I have just a regular note field, which is a text, a username, which is a text, a date, which is started when you create it, an ID number, which we did as a creation date as well. I was having issues with it, sorting it by date. I don't know why. The security link, which is a text. And then I have what's called the PR difference and the quantity difference. So the PR difference is price difference. And if you wanted to, you could just type that out. You could just say PR, and you could change the price. Even though we've done some scripting, you can change it to price if you want to. That's absolutely fine. And it will just change it in throughout all of your scripts. FYI, if you did not know that, if you make a change here in the fields category, it will change that in every single script that you've written that uses that field name. And I'm noticing my stream keeps freezing, just freezing. I do apologize for the freezing stream thing. Hopefully we don't have that issue a lot today. But anyway, so this was the script that I actually wrote for it. And I wrote it right in the system so that no matter what, it's part of that field. So the field is case, and then open bracket, if the original price is empty. So here we just put in is empty, original price. Then what we want it to do is we want to set it as the new price. And if it is not empty, the original price, then we want the new price. And this is a calculation box, by the way. This is a calculation box. What it's basically saying is case and if are pretty much, they're usable, but the case is very open. You don't have to put if every time. You can just say case. So if I'm using the word if, I apologize, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. So in case, open bracket, is empty the original price. If the original price is empty, then just use the new price data. So just use the new price. And I'll show you this field in just a minute. But if it is not empty, the original price, then I want to use the new price minus the original price. New price minus the original price. And we'll say okay, and we'll just get out of here. And this is what it does. This is that diff field I was talking about. So this is the field. So in this case, what we did was the original price on this particular liquid or this particular product number was $15, and we just added the $15. So we just set the price at $15. So that's why it's at $15. And here we just set just the price, the sale price. So we added a sale price. As you can see, it says sale added, sale removed. So we changed it, sale added, from $15 or from $20 to $15, and then we removed it and it went back to $20. And then here we change the price, so price change. As you can see, I've listed what these actually are. So add quantity, modify quantity, modify quantity. So in this particular one, we raised the price by $2. So we went from $20 to $22, and so with a gain of $2 difference. So it's a +2. That's the reason why we did that case the way that we did, was so that this number would be either plus or minus. So here we lowered the price from 22 down to 20, and it is a price difference of -$2. And that was a price change, and it was authorized by me on this day. So if you have, where you need to know these things, where you have a set of data that other people have access to, but you want to make sure that you're keeping track of them, this is the formula to do that. And the cool thing about this is that you can go to your, like we have the monitor. The monitor here is, it deals with all of the sales that you do on every day. So here I've got on 1/6, 12/29, 12/27, and this one would be today's sale. Remember that 23 sale that we did? So here it is, $179, register 1. So we know it was register 1. And if we want to look at it, we can click this, and it'll show us there's the sale right there, the whole thing. We know exactly how much it was. And what was sold. They were all bulk sale items. What was that person thinking, right? And we did that so that we're not messing with those sales. We're not messing with, if you notice, we are actually on this, we're on register 1X. Because that's what this is all about. It takes us to register 1X. But this will tell us all the sales and break them down so that we know on the we know the exact time the sale was made. We know it was a cash sale or a credit sale. And we know the taxes that were collected, the total net sales, all that neat stuff. So we have all of the information that we need under today's deal, right? So I'm sure you guys, if you guys have any questions about this, just let me know. But I'm pretty sure we went through the monitor and everything was good with the monitor when you guys were last on. So here we'll exit. We'll go, this exit button takes us all the way out. I've got to fix that so that when I mean exit, it will actually take me back to the admin page. But that's okay, because, you know, we're just used to all of that neat stuff. We do have a set error, clear, or set and clear errors. You guys know all that stuff. The inventory modifier, inventory checker. If we type in a number, inventory modifier, as you guys can see, this was the last one that we were on, so it just takes us right back to the last one that we're on. What else was it that I wanted to show you guys today? I wanted to show you some tips and tricks, and I did with the case deal, so you guys know how to use that. And all that was is we were dealing with our database, and we're just creating a function. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Register 3. Well, it should have been in our records change. I don't know why I couldn't find it on that last page, but it's in our records change. So it's basically just a calculation where you use case. So if you want it, like, if you want it to do, if one thing is not true, and it's such a simple thing to do, if one thing is not true or is true, then do this. And if it's not true, then do that. So if you guys have any issues or you want to know how to use case files or case functions, just let me know and I will help you create case functions. They are much better than the continuous if. Although you guys know I use if a lot, because whenever we're doing scripts, we're always using the if function. If this isn't, and then I also wanted to show you guys really quick the place on sale. So if we click place on sale, I created a popover, and what it does is it either places a product on sale or it removes it. So in this case, if we have this product and we wanted to place it on sale, let's say the current price is $30,
wanted to place it on sale for $25. We just put in 25 and we would place it on sale. And because it is the username, there's a person there, it now logs that I just did it. I just put this product on sale. And if I want to, I can come over here and I can remove the sale. So now it is off sale. So as you can tell, in just a brief moment of time, you can now place an item on sale almost instantaneously and almost instantaneously take it off of sale. And your scanner allows you to go directly to that product to put it on sale. So if I decided I want this item to be on sale, or if I have an item, a bottle, something, and I want to put it on sale, I can just scan it, and on my iPad I can change it and make it. I mean, this is not your $1 million system, obviously, but this is a system that'll work well for small businesses. But you can place it on sale or take it off sale immediately. And if we exit and we go back to our admin section and we go to our reports, you'll see here is where I just did it, and we've highlighted it. And I want to show you guys how we highlighted that too. That was kind of an interesting thing. So what we did with this is we added a conditional format. And the conditional format was a formula. And so it says, hey, if this number is records change if it's original price, blah, 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 and I will grab this one. So it says if it's empty, the records change original price, then we want it to be bold and we want it to be purple. And this formula is if records change, PR difference is less than 0, make it in a red color. And you can add several different ones, and you can take different ones off if you want to under your conditional formatting for that field. Now, it's not just for that one field, it's for the whole line of that field. So if we exit layout, all of these right here are going to be, they're going to have that exact same conditional formatting. And as you can tell, it raised a, so basically what this says is I added the sale and I removed the sale. Pretty simple, pretty painless, pretty easy. Back to our admin we go and exit so that we are clearing everything out. And with that, I will effectively end the stream, guys. I didn't want to spend an hour on today, but if you do have any questions or you need anything, just let me know. I hope that we've covered that. We've got about 5 more episodes left of this. So episode 20 will be our absolute closer. It'll be the absolute end. If there's something that I missed and you guys didn't have access to it, or you weren't able to know what it was that I wrote or what I did, just let me know. I know USA Refurb has talked to me before in the past and has said, hey, where was this? And I've directed him to that right episode. But if I'm missing something and you know I'm missing it, just let me know and I will go over that. And it'll be on a different system, or a different, it won't be part of the episode thing, but it'll be like a Q&A type thing where I can actually tell you what all of the scripts are, or if I missed a script or whatever the case might be. Some of the newest scripts that I've actually done were all of the ones that you see down at the bottom. I'll grab this bad boy and put it up here, because I want it to be at the top and not at the bottom. Go to scripts. So there we go. Go to scripts. It's just underneath go to scripts, so it's like at the very top, or near the very top. There, now I put it all the way at the top. We'll close it out. So the only scripts that I've written would be like these ones, the BO user data, the remove sale, the modify sale. The remove sale is, you guys can figure that out. It's such a simple, easy, painless one. This remove sale basically just said if the username was empty, then just halt the script and say, I'm sorry, you can't do that because you don't have the authority to do that. And then close the popover. Then set all the variables, go to layout. This is where it becomes quite redundant. What I did was I selected this from close popover and held the shift key down and went all the way down to halt script. And you can do this, just highlight the whole thing like that. And then you can control C, which will copy that. And then you can move it into another one. So because in the modify price thing, you can see here it is. The set variable to the halt script is exactly the same, other than I had to go in and do some minor tweaking because it obviously is going to be asking for different data. But that's how you can take a part of one script that you repeat a lot, and in this case, with that particular layout that we were on, the change the inventory or change the stuff that's in the inventory, and we wanted to be able to record every single change that was being made. In this sense, it was as simple as clicking this, hold the shift button, go all the way down to the bottom, and click on the halt script. Now, if you wanted to, if you only wanted some of it, you could click on the set variable. We could come to here, set field. You have to press and hold the shift button. I'm pressing and hold the shift button now, and then click on it, and it'll go down. So all the space in between there, it will grab, and then you can copy that, Control C, and you can paste it in any other one of your files. So you could go from here to another one, whatever the case might be. There was the go to report, which was we're just going to the change records file. Go to back office, the back office inventory button. Oh, wait, there was one. There was one. Let me exit this really quick. So if I type in 19, dang it, Tim. Delete that. Exit the layout. Okay. If I type in this and I go to the admin number, and now we're in the back office section, and I have the capacity to go to passcodes. And as you can see in the passcodes, there are modifiers and there's all this data that I don't have access to. But I do have access to those in the other one. So if I went to, if I exited and I went to mine, and I went to passcodes, it has everybody's, all the information is there. See how much different it is? And now how you do that is when you are in this system, so in this one, we're just going to add the layout. Well, what we did was we put little eyeballs on everything, as you can see. So the little eyeballs are, this one is, and we'll go into our field inspector. I'll move it over here. And this one is hide if is empty. So what it's saying is if there is certain data in a certain field, we want to hide this one, right? So, but if that doesn't exist in that particular field, then we don't need to hide it. And in this one, it is if it's empty, user database pass, then we'll hide it. And first name, so if is empty, we'll hide that one. But there's one here, access user database. If it's empty, user data pass. Okay. So where did I do that? Let me think what I did. So we'll exit this, back out, and I think what we'll do is we'll go into edit layout here. Let's look at the script. So if it's empty, back office security link, this is where it is right here. This is where it's the script that takes you to that page. So what we did was we said, we're going to set the variable, set fields, go to the layout, user info copy. So it's actually a copy of my admin page. Show all the records. go to the first record first. So we'll go to the record first. And now we're going to loop all that stuff. And if the user database access is equal to admin, which is a big deal, right? If it's admin, then we'll set the field user data database pass to blank. And then go to the next record and then end that if. But if the access is exit after last one, but then we put another if inside the same loop. Another if inside the same loop. So if user database is not equal to admin, then we'll set the field pass to 10 so that it's visible. And then go to record request, next exit after the last. And end the if, and then end the loop, and then go to the first record, set the field user database pass name, which is the name of your manager or management name that would go in there, show the records, and halt the script. So that's where it is. That's where the magic of that actually works. So that if you go in and you type in exit this layout, go into here, and you can see we can add names to there. But if we come here, well, let me change that because I have locked that particular button. But if I came here and I unlocked this button by making it available in browse mode just for a second, which in my case mine would be available to everybody, but this is so that your management team can put people in this system if they need to. And we grabbed this and we typed in admin and we backed up. Now if we go back in there, see how it's disappeared? Disappeared, so there's only one person left in there. Other than Josh, there's me. But everything else is done. Everything else is not available for view. And of course on the empty ones we can make changes to. On the non-empty ones we can't make changes to. And this one we do need to make sure that we, in this case, do need to make sure that we keep it not available in browse mode. So that way we can't accidentally make changes to the parts and pieces that we don't want to make changes to. But this one gives the person, your manager, the ability to assign a number, any number. If you want it to be 2400, whatever, and the person's name was Betty, and we went to tab Smith, and you didn't have a destination, or you didn't need to time in, or any of the other stuff. And so we know that now we have Betty Smith, right? Betty Smith, you guys saw 2400. We just added her. You just saw. We're going to back out of this. We're going to exit this. And now we're going to go here. We're going to type in 2400, register 1. And we now see Betty Smith at the bottom of the page. So now she's an authorized user. She's authorized to get on here and to make sales. And whenever we go and look at our sales for the day, we'll see Betty Smith's name there. So, ta-da! Simple, easy, painless. Any questions, let me know. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for joining me. You guys are amazing. I do apologize for the weirdness of the thing this earlier. That was kind of weird that we had the little glitch, the hiccups. But until next time, guys, we'll see you. Be good to each other. Like I said, any questions, just leave comments below. I read them, all of them, every single one. No matter what you guys say, I read it, good or bad. Send me a message anytime you want to. Or come on and watch the show when I'm on. Hit the little bell, subscribe, hit the little bell. And then you guys can come on and watch me live. And if you have a question while I'm on and it has to do with FileMaker, I would appreciate the question. I did have a question a while ago. The guy was like, why don't you use global variables? Well, I don't use global variables because I like to have access and make changes and do things in a fashion that that works for me. and that works effectively. I've done so much with FileMaker that it's quite insane, and to believe it or not, I've made so many mistakes it's not even funny, and so I know what works and what doesn't work. And a lot of times I found that friends of mine were telling me, oh, you have to do it this way or do that way, or overcomplicate your scripts, and it always ends up a disaster. You always end up with things disappearing out of your inventory or your file system, and before you know it, you're lost and you don't know where you are. And your system is garbage at that point, so you just toss it, start all over again. So this is a very solid unit, and it's very, very, very solid unit in the sense it will keep track of every single thing that you do. And so you'll know where your product's going, why it's leaving, when you sold your last one, which is kind of a good thing, because I thought if you have a product that you haven't sold in a year, it would be a good idea to be able to, like on our reports, we can actually go in and sort by the date, and we can look at when was the last time we sold this product, or when was the last time we sold a product. And if it's been 6 months or a year since you sold the last product, you might consider getting rid of those, just doing like a bulk sale, get rid of all of those, and move on to a different product. Because small business is all about making money, earning a living, and moving forward, obviously. So until the next time, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching me. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys later. Next time. Bye.